Hello. Okay, so I had wanted to be able to go live on Instagram in order to film this video and talk about some of the behind the scenes and how the event FriendFest was brought into fruition. But Instagram is not allowing me to go live, so I'm filming I'm filming this video in order to share this information because I had several people ask, so how did you create FriendFest? How did you get people to say yes and join and come? And I felt that it would likely be valuable for anyone who also wants to run an event in the future, whether it's virtual, whether it's in person, or perhaps someone is launching a new program in their business and they're wondering, like, how do you set it up so that people are like, yeah, I'm excited to like move forward and say yes to this thing. And I thought that I would answer that here. So FriendFest was an event that happened in early September in Hoboken, New Jersey, at an awesome, like one of my favorite yoga studios called Asana Yoga. And so I told this story at FriendFest, but I'll share it with you here. So I was thinking about, there are lots of women who have come back from from it being summertime and the madness of summer and getting kids back to school. And I was like, you know what? We need a way to be able to bring people together, bring service providers, coaches, wellness practitioners. People in that field out of isolation, out of being behind their computers, and actually get together so that they can connect and, kind of reset and recharge for their business within the fall. And so I was talking to a friend about it, and I was telling her this idea. And I was like, I'm going to do this event. It's going to be for women entrepreneurs, and it's going to be called like Reset and Recharge. And as I was telling her about this event, she was like, Aaliyah, what's going on? And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I'm just not hearing any sort of like, something's off with your energy when it comes to this event. And I was like, I know, you're right. And she was like, well, what's up? And I ended up telling her that this idea of reset and recharge actually, to me, when I think about it, sounds like so vanilla and generic and boring. And she was like, well, what is it that you really want to do? And I was like, I want to do this thing called FriendFest. And she was like, what's FriendFest? And I started telling her about how I had a deeper vision of women who could come together where it's not just like surfacey, typical networking conversations that end up being transactional and you're like sharing your business card and you're like, okay, bye. But where the event is conducive to real conversations about things that go on in business that we can't talk to every single person about, but need the right group of people. And I was telling her, I was like, my belief is that when we are in that non-judgmental space with the right people, the actual ideas that we are sitting on, that are the right ideas, that are so intuitive to who we are, that are both like really exciting to us. Like, oh my gosh, maybe I should go apply to be a speaker at X, Y, and Z Summit. Or maybe I should write a book or do this thing. These like really inspired ideas that don't have a place to come out, but that do come out when we are with an amazing group of people who like truly sees us and are like, yes, do that thing. And I was telling her, I was like, I've seen that happen. I've experienced that. And that's what I want for FriendFest. And that's why I want it to be called FriendFest. but I had all of these like concerns that people would think about and hear this name FriendFest and like not take it seriously or not understand it or not get it. And this woman, my friend who I was speaking to, told me, she's like, Aaliyah, you have to do that. You have to do that. And hearing her hear me and tell me, yes, this is a go, this is a must, helped me be like, you're so right. Like, of course I have to do this thing. And I was actually telling the story at FriendFest, and I was saying that had this woman not had said that, FriendFest would never have come into fruition. And I was thinking about how many women and men are out there right now where they have this absolutely incredible idea that they are sitting on because of the fact that there's not someone there to reflect to them that, yes, this is your thing, this is your idea, let's go, let's do this. And how many of us are simply behind our computers waiting for that permission, right? So that is how, and I'm just logging onto my computer here, which logs me off. It's like I keep having to like touch my computer screen, touch my phone to keep these things on. So that's how FriendFest came to be. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit. And first I'll just say, like, maybe you resonate with that, maybe you don't. Maybe for you, there is something that you are doing right now, but you're like, you know what? Launching this program feels like it's like, or like the way that I am sharing this message or the way that I've been thinking about marketing this feels like I'm fitting like a square peg in a round hole, where it's just not me. It doesn't feel good. I can't get behind it. And like my belief is when we're not aligned in that way, nothing really works out. And so this is a roundabout way of sharing that the most important thing that I was so glad that I had someone to support me in focusing on was getting my energy and my spirit aligned with the idea of the event and letting it inform what the event itself was going to be. First and foremost. So if you do have like a program or something that you're doing now or launching now, just a quick check-in perhaps that you could ask yourself around on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all and 10 being completely, how aligned do I feel and like how much belief do I have in what this program is, right? Because I really do believe if those things are mismatched, and if you're at more of a 0 to 5 than a 5 to 10, more like a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that getting that thing off the ground will not be as easy as you want it to be. And maybe you won't see things like happen because you're not in a place of like deep knowing and deep belief of how awesome this thing is. Okay. So I hope that's a little bit helpful just to be able to self-assess in that way. Okay. So once I had this idea and once I kind of got behind it myself of like, yes, of course this is right. Like, of course this is what, like I love and I think others will love, was when I started thinking about how do I want to share this message. So tangibly speaking, what I ended up doing is I ended up sharing it on Eventbrite. I really recommend Eventbrite for any event, a virtual event, an in-person event. You may, like now that I'm thinking about it, there may be a way to even like use it as a way to share something before you like full on launch your program. Maybe it's a coaching program for you, but like there are so many ways to use this platform. I love Eventbrite. I didn't do paid advertising on Eventbrite. I simply posted the event FriendFest. And I wrote it from a space again of like knowing that I was in a scale of 1 to 10, that I was in that 10 on like I know the type of woman who I want to be there. I know what she needs to see and like read in order to be like, this is a yes for me, right? From a space of like also being that woman who would see this event and be like, of course I'm coming to this. So really being aware of that within my writing, and more so within the energy behind my writing of like being excited and like, this is a yes. And like, how do I say this in that way? So Eventbrite, and then saying it in a way that really speaks to that person. And if you are noodling on this and you're like, well, I don't know exactly who that person is or what they need to hear, I'm going to talk about a little bit later in this video how I figure those things out, but not just me, like how we do this inside of the program that is called ACT. That is a program for people who are doing the fun, scary things and saying yes to the things that they really want in their life and business, and how we take those steps forward in order to figure out how to speak to that person. So I will share that in a little bit. Okay. So wrote that message on Eventbrite, posted it. And I also had a Facebook invite. I shared it on Facebook. As a like invitation, you guys know how you do those like Facebook invitations where you can like invite a bunch of people on Facebook. But I did not invite a bunch of like people just randomly and think like, oh yeah, I'm going to invite this. I'm going to spread this to everyone I know. I know some people do that, and I have certainly done that in the past. But with this one, I got really aligned with my intuition on who do I think would love this and who do I think would benefit from this, and who do I want to just see there and like give a big hug to and be with for this experience. Who is that person? And so I tapped into that before inviting those people. And those were the people that I ended up inviting. So the Eventbrite, the Facebook group, and then I also just sent personal invites to people. And I think this is such an underutilized way to be able to let people know about the things that you have to offer. So like if you're a service provider, coach, wellness practitioner, you have something going on, like reach out to the people who you know, who you're like, girl, you would like love this event. Like, come, I mean, don't say it that way if it's not your way of saying it, but, share authentically why you would love this person to be there. I know when I've gotten invitations like that, I've been like, especially if it's from someone who I like know and trust or am inspired by, I'm like so honored to receive that from them. And it's such a gift. And like, it also helps me see them showing up in their leadership, which is inspiring to me. So I recommend as well doing those personal reach outs and just thinking about like how you would want someone to reach out to you about an event that, you're being invited to. Okay. So those were the main things I did. I also did a little bit of networking just in, again, being in that same energy of FriendFest is so awesome. I know the right people are going to show up, and I'm so excited for people to experience this. And I went to networking events, and actually I met a woman at a networking event who ended up coming, and it was like a day or two before the events, and she ended up inviting a friend. And so just not neglecting, just sharing the message far and wide in any way that feels really good and authentic to you. Okay. So I will share just kind of like some of the lessons learned in all of this is to trust your intuition If someone is giving you a strategy that does not feel good, including any of the ones that I just listed, and by strategy, I mean like way of reaching out, way of sharing your message, way of getting this thing off the ground, do not do it. Do not do it. Only do what feels really right to you, but don't discount yourself from something because of preconceived notions you may have around it. So for example, sometimes, especially around personal reach outs, I've had preconceived notions of like, ooh, that's like sleazy or salesy. Like when someone comes in and they're like, hey, do you want to come to this thing? And I really have to check that in myself because I think there's a difference between someone who comes in where you can feel the intention is like self-centered and about them and what they need and what they want versus someone sharing a message where you can feel the intention is like about giving to you and like supporting you and inviting you and giving you what like you're looking for. And there's such a difference in those two ways of being and expressing. So don't allow your preconceived notions to talk you out of doing something that someone may really actually need from you, such as reaching out. Okay. So trust your intuition. And my other kind of lesson learned was like, go for the thing, right? Like truly this event would not have come into being had this one woman not had said, Aaliyah, do that, that's so you, right? And like FriendFest was one of the best days like of my life. Really, it was one of the best days of my life ever. It was so much fun. And everyone there was such a perfect addition to co-creating this event together and had such an incredible time. So, oh my gosh, go for the thing and find yourself someone who's going to help you see what that thing is and how to bring it out there. Okay. So I hope these tips and just hearing some of the way that I've ended up thinking about, getting things out there was helpful to you today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like or a comment so that I know that this is something I should keep talking about. If you are someone who is like, I want to get into action, I want to do the thing that's simultaneously like really calling my soul and so fun, but also I've been sitting on it and I'm really like, if I'm honest, I'm scared about it and I need a supportive group to support me through all of this. Sorry, but we all do. I have a program that is being launched now that is called ACT. That's literally about getting into action on the things that your intuition, your soul, your spirit wants to put out there, the coaching program, the event that you want to put out there, the book that you want to write, the speaking engagement that you want to do, right? All of those things that are so deeply needed that we need other people around us to hold us to our highest and support us in tapping more deeply into our intuition, okay? This group has turned into like such a loving, supportive sisterhood. That's still going to kick your booty a little bit in order to get that thing out there. So if you're interested in this, go ahead and send me a DM. And I'm just going to put you on a list where you'll learn more about it. I'm not like, unless you're like, I want to talk to you like right now, we can certainly do that too. Otherwise, I'll put you on a list where you'll just get information about it. That's it. Just so you know, right? So go ahead and send me a DM. And that's about it. We finished with a minute to spare before this video will end. Share your like or comment, share a DM if you want to know more about ACT. And thank you so much for watching this video. I truly hope it supported you, gave you a new idea, or helped you in some way to move forward towards the thing that is meant to be out there, that you're meant to bring into the world. Don't sit on it, connect with a group and go. Now is the time. Okay, I'll see you soon.